You know, they say you shouldn't look directly in the sun, but how can you not when it looks as good as that? Uh-huh. Missing Link, Sunstreaker. What's new in the vault? We'll be right back. What's new?
In the vault.
Missing Link Sunstreaker came into us via Kapow Toys. I think it was it last week or the end of the week before? It's been too long for me to get round and do this video. I've been busy with other stuff and distracted by other stuff, but I'm finally here now. We're on it, so I'm going to grab him off the shelf and we'll start by taking a look at the box. And here he is, Missing Link Sunstreaker. Look at that. That looks really nice. I really do like the style of this box. Such a callback to the original G1. There's very much similarities between this box and the Hasbro release. To my knowledge, I think this is stylized how it would have appeared in the Japanese release back in 80. Whoa. Actually, no, I need to stop myself there. I nearly made a mistake. Sunstreaker didn't actually get an individual release back in when it was released in Japan during the G1 line. No, Sunstreaker actually came out in a Versus set along with, I think it was Skids and Buzzsaw. And that would have been, I think it may have been 86, I think that came out. If I'm incorrect, I may put some text up, or I'm sure someone will correct me in the chat. So I will say that this box will be inspired by other releases of the Autobot cars. It will be the same style, colours, and I believe it's the same size as well. The artwork is different on it this time. They've gone for a redone drawing of Sunstreaker to bring it more in line with how the figure is, the Missing Link figure, with all that added articulation. And we can see him in the window packaging there in his vehicle mode, and we can see that little Diaclone driver, which I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on. So just a quick spin round of the box. We've got some photography there of the toy, the transformation sequence. We've got the same photographs on the side of the box as well, on either side. On the back, we've got a load of bump with the tech spec, and then that gorgeous box art that you can't really see much of because it's covered up. And then to the bottom of the box, we've just got then a load more bump. So, yeah. Other than that, nothing more I can say. Let's get him out and take a look, shall we? Right, so out of the box, we've got it into different components here. We've got the box. We'll put that to one side. Actually, I'll put it back up on the shelf where I got it from, so I don't want to damage that. And then we've got the actual figure itself in vehicle mode in the polystyrene. I love this. I love the fact that it's in polystyrene. I really wish Hasbro had done this back in the day, but I can see why they didn't. So yeah, we've got the Diaclone driver, we've got the accessories, and that which we'll get to in a moment. And then we've got a baggie with all the instructions and such. So I'll start here with the instructions and that stuff that's in the baggie. Get those out carefully because I don't want the sellotape to stick to the. Just move that to one side as well for a moment. There we go. Right, so we've got a collector's card, which this time round is really flimsy, as you can see, and for some bizarre reason it's got a hole punched at the top there. No idea why, but it's great artwork. Love the colours, and then on the back it's got like a bit of a schematic thing going off again with some text. I don't read Japanese, I'm afraid, so I couldn't tell you what it says. But that's that. We've got the tech spec decoder, which bizarrely enough, this is more rigid than what the ones are that come with the Hasbro versions, the G1s. It's a bit more rigid, so the collector's card's floppier, the tech spec decoder's more rigid. Ah well. We've got a set of stickers. Now, the Sunstreaker, Missing Link Sunstreaker is actually already tampoed up, but you get this sticker sheet, which I assume is just kind of maybe just a homage to the original, or maybe some of them you could put on. There are one or two I have seen on here that you can put on, like the red and yellow ones here, so you can change the on the shoulders and things like that. And then I think the one that says Car Robo as well. That one is the one that will go underneath the windscreen when he's in robot mode. But anyway, yeah. So we've got the sticker sheets there. I'm quite surprised. There's a bit of a matte sheen to them, but with it being, like 2025 and the kind of work that Toy Hacks does, I would have thought that these would have been more foil rather than paper. But not to worry. They're still there. I won't be using them myself, but if people do want to use them, they're there. Or I'm sure the aforementioned Toy Hacks will eventually get round to doing some stickers that you can use on him. We've then got the instruction sheet, which then tells you about how to transform him and things like that. If you've already got G1 Sunstreaker, it's not that much of a leap forward in transforming him. There are one or two subtle differences, but nothing major. It's quite intuitive, and you should do it without needing to look at these instructions. But they're there anyway. And then finally, we have a catalogue, and we'll just fold this out. So we've got keep forgetting which hand to use. That's the artwork, the box artwork, which is really nice. And then we've got images there of Sunstreaker and Corden. Now, I didn't get Corden, but the thing is, sorry, I have a bit of an itch there. The more and more I see it, the more and more I'm thinking to myself, do I pick one up or don't I? I'm trying to keep strong in not picking one up, but I'm not betting up against myself at this moment in time. And then the other side, we've got some really nice artwork there, and then we've got just a recap of Missing Link Prime and Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. No hints or anything like that about what's coming next, which is a shame. Takara usually do that with the catalogues, but they've not done this time. But not to worry, I'm sure we'll find out. From what I've seen, there has been a teaser. There's possibility of Ultra Magnus and Grimlock, both of which I would love to see, and I'm really looking forward to picking up if they do them. I'm quite interested in how they're going to do Ultra Magnus. It's definitely going to be a cab and a shell thing, for definite, like what Fans Toys and New Age did with their versions of Ultra Magnus. But yeah, looking forward to it regardless. Back on track. Yep, that's the pamphlets and things that's in the baggie. Right, let's get back onto this. I will take out Sunstreaker first, but I'll put him to one side because it's the accessories that we're looking at now. So I'm going to get that Diaclone driver out. There we go, there's the Diaclone driver. I'm going to get this gun out. I'm going to get these gun missile things out, and then I may need to pause this or speed this up because these are quite fiddly to get out, so bear with me a moment. And they're out. Ended up having to get some tweezers to get them out. The shoulder pod things, really hard to get out for some reason, but regardless. So we'll start with them then. The shoulder pods, pretty much there, as you can see. Nothing remarkable to them. Exactly the same as the original one. We've got two, I'm going to call these bloated fists, because they are considerably bigger, chunkier than the fists that are incorporated into the figure itself. We have the gun arm missile things. I'm not taking these off the sprue. These are staying on the sprue. If you want to know what it looks like with them on, I'm sure there's photos out there on the internet, or you just look at the original G1 Sunstreaker. That's what it'll look like. We have, for the first time with Sunstreaker, oh, you can't see through there, can you? Is a gun. That is nice, shiny chrome gun, and it's essentially identical to Sunstreaker's gun, just in that nice shiny chrome. And then we have the Diaclone driver. That is, don't worry about if you can't see this, because there will be, as with all the videos I do about what's new in the vault, there will be photos that will go up on the website and social media, so you're not going to miss out there. But yeah, he's done up, he's decoed to give some kind of semblance to Spike. in the cartoon. So like, you know, the blue pants, jeans, and then like the beige top, and he's articulated. You know, his arms can lift up and bend, and then so can his legs, like so. And there we go. And that's accessories. They're all good. They're all solid. All quality. No qualms about them or anything like that. So yeah, that's accessories. Shall we take a look at the vehicle mode now? And here we are with vehicle mode. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Really, really is nice. I've always liked Sunstreaker. He's always been a favourite of mine. He's in my top 11 of Autobot cars from the first season, and but yeah, he's fantastic. I mean, it's the yellow on black. The two colours, yellow and black, that I really do like, and when they're together, they look awesome. Even on wasps, and as much as I hate wasps, they're yellow and black, but they're a cool looking insect. But it's the colours, it's the yellow and black. But back to Sunstreaker. Yeah, he looks great. It looks awesome. That chrome work. The tampos that you can see there. The clear plastic on the windshield, or windscreen, if you will. The metallic red paint there on the shoulder sections when it goes into robot mode. Chrome of the spoiler. It just looks so nice. The headlight details are tampoed on, the Autobot symbols tampoed on the bonnet and on the roof of the car there. The black highlights are all tampoed on, and then underneath it's just plain. You know, there's what you're going to put on the underneath of the car. Not much. You got chrome of the wheels and then rubber tyres, and that is gorgeous, isn't it? And it runs quite feely on the on those wheels. Yeah, no concerns there. It looks great. It really does look great. As I'm talking, there will be some footage of, you know, various modes and accessories and things like that on the turntable. Also, I'll throw up some photos as well of comparison between the Missing Link version and the original G1 version, so you're not going to miss out. And again, like I've said, if there's anything that you do miss here on the video, it will be up on Instagram, Facebook, photos and things like that. So yeah, you're not going to miss anything. Right, what else can I say about the vehicle mode? It's a Lamborghini LP500. I believe they call it Super Sport. It's not. Whilst the LP500 is an actual real-world car, the Super Sport, as how Sunstreaker appears here, doesn't exist in the real world. Or to my knowledge, it doesn't. I've not seen anything. But it is a cool-looking mode to think that you'd have such a massively jacked engine in the back of a Lamborghini that would need air intakes that big. You know, it's you know, hence the spoiler there. The spoiler would be needed to keep this thing on the ground. So yeah, there's nothing more I can say about the vehicle mode. Shall we get him transformed and take a look at his robot mode? Right, to get from vehicle mode to robot mode, I'm going to do it on screen. I'm doing exactly what I said I would never do, but hopefully it's going to be quite painless for both of us, really. I say both of us because it's, yeah, for you there, yeah, I can see you, that single solitary viewer, you know, thank you very much. Just for me and you, we'll transform him and we'll see how we get on. So I'm going to start by lifting the windscreen up because there is two tabs that lock it into place here. There's also, I'm going to take off the back panel there, just pull that down because that also tabs in as well. There's two tabs here that hold the leg section into the upper section, so I'll just detach those two and then lift that up and I should be able to pull the legs down then now. Yep, there we go, legs are down and extended. You can separate those out, flip him over, and these are tabbed and pull round like that, and then feet are on ratchets. Can you hear that? You might not be able to hear it. Ratchets in the feet, and then we just slide the, see now, just want to be really, really careful. I don't want to end up breaking him. There we go. Feet slide over like that. There we go. Legs down. Right. Upper body. Arms fold out exactly the same as they do on the G1 Sunstreaker. So we've got the arms extended out like that. And then we can come and start doing the head section. There is a tab that needs to be untabbed. There we go. That's untabbed that. All spins round, and then to get his head in the position, there's kind of a double joint here at the back, this thing here. That's to bend over on itself, tabs in, goes down flush. Put the cockpit section back in like that. Tab the windscreen back into place. Lift the head up. Put the back panel back up into place. Like that. Is that hooked in there? Yep, that's in. Alright, let's just tidy him up now. Bring his arms down, and then if we separate forearms like that, and his hands just rotate out like that. And do it on the other side. Oh, this is what you get when you don't have nails. There we go. Right, just tidy him up a little bit. Get him presentable. Presentable for his audience. And there we go. There he is in his base robot mode. I will pop some of his attachments on as accessories. So we'll get the shoulder pods. Now these fit in a lot more snugger and tightly than what the Hasbro G1 version did. They were quite loose, and you know, when you were playing with him or you've turned him side or upside down, they just end up dropping out. So right, we've got his side pods on. There we go. And then we'll get his gun. Pop his gun in his hand. And there he is. Let's just zoom in a little bit on Sunstreaker. Let's zoom in on a bit on him. There we go. And there he is. Sunstreaker in his robot mode. Don't that look nice? That is really, really nice. Yeah, I'm liking that. Right, zoom back out, and we'll talk a little bit about articulation. So I'll just take his gun out of his hand now again. Right, so as I said earlier on, and I did the volume thing for you so you could hear it, his feet bend down, and he's got some nice ratchets on the feet there. There's also an ankle tilt, like that. Not much, but it's there. You've then got a rotation at the top of the leg, and then it bends upwards like so, and then he's also got a knee joint as well. Same on the other leg. No waist swivel, no ab crunch. Well, actually, no. Yeah, there is a bit of... I don't know if you could call it an ab crunch, but, you know, because the legs actually do bend forward, but then the whole section then... So it can bend over like that, but I don't think it's particularly... I wouldn't personally consider it as an actual separate ab crunch or anything like that. I think it's just part of the joint, you know, for the legs. And then the legs can also splay out like that. Arms, we'll start at the top. So he has these shoulder joints which lift you up to about there, but then he's also got joints here at the back of the shoulders then which can lift the arms right up like that. They swing forward and they swing back. He's also got a bicep swivel, and then elbow joint. The hands rotate round, and then we've got opening fingers like that. Now you can, if you want, and it's the same on the other side as well. Oh, before I mention that, and then the head you can look down a little bit but that's more really for the transformation rather than that being actual articulation. But the actual articulation in the head is the fact that you can turn the head from side to side like that. But yeah, just so going back to the hands then, so you can, if you want, they do come out if you want to, and then you can plug the other accessories in, or if you don't want to do that, oh, Sunstreaker wants his hands to come out, you can just fold them back in like that, and then you can get your other fist and you can put that in there like that. So I don't know if you can see well enough on camera here, but you can see the size difference of the fists there. Like that. There we go. Let's take that back out again. Get his articulated hand out. There we go. And then we'll pop his gun back in his hand. Like that. And that's your robot mode. Like I say, so yeah, you can put both fists in, and then were I to take them off the sprue, you can put them in the slots that are in the forearms. The ones from the G1 Sunstreaker won't fit on the Missing Link because they have the retaining tabs that for the firing mechanism that's really weak on the G1 Hasbro one, but on the Japanese one they did actually fire. And it's the same with the fists as well. There's the tabs on those. Also, the pegs on the Missing Link fists and missiles are a lot shorter than the ones on the G1 version. So unfortunately they're not interchangeable. The only thing that would be interchangeable would be the shoulder pods. But why you want to do that, I don't know. Let's move them out of the way. Let's bring the Diaclone driver back in for a little bit of size comparison. It won't stand up. So what I'll do is I will bring my metal ruler in here because our Diaclone driver does have magnets in his feet. So already we're gonna rotate. Look at that. He's not going nowhere, is he? Oh dear, he fell off. Let's try again. Rotate round, rotate round. So why is he not? I'm giving up for this is a bad job. I really am. Now listen, you've embarrassed me. You were supposed to, you had one job to stick to the metal ruler and you couldn't even do that, could you? No energy on goodies for you. Sorry about that. Right, okay, so nothing else really I can say about the robot mode. I've showed you the articulation, I've showed you what it looks like. Let's see if we can just do like a couple of quick poses here for you. I mean, don't get me, you're not going to get the most dynamic poses out of him. You'll get some nice good ones, but you're not going to get anything like on a masterpiece level or scale. There you go, you know, you can get some, you know, like a good sort of like shooting pose kind of thing, or, you know, have his hands lifted up. You know. One thing I will mention is, when if you do articulate them at the knees and you do bend them, there's kind of the joint swings forwards and backwards slightly, and if it's in the forward position, when you try to bring the leg back straight, it catches there. You can see that it catches on there, so you don't damage it or cause any marks on it. Just slide it back slightly, and then you can get the leg straight again. But that's it. Other than that, hey, don't you start now falling over. There we go. It's bad enough that this person watching this review thing isn't going to be impressed with you keep falling over. It's making you look bad. It's making me look bad. Just can't get the staff. Right. Okay. Sunstreaker. Let's get him back into vehicle mode. We'll have a few final thoughts and then we'll wrap this up. And we're going back in vehicle mode now. So we're going to wrap this up with some final thoughts. But briefly, before I do, I didn't show you the Diaclone driver actually, his application in the cockpit area. So we'll open up the cockpit area, the windshield. Now, to get the Diaclone driver in, you have to lift his arms quite high up and then put him in a seated position, and then just basically angle him in like so. And then once he's sat down, you can move his hands down a little bit. And he just sits nice and snugly there in the cockpit. Like that. That's great. Wait for the camera to catch up there. There we go. And then lock that canopy into place. And I don't know if you'll be able to see him. Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, there he is. Sat in there, ready to drive off into the sunset. Sunstreaker into the sunset. So, final thoughts. What do I think of Missing Link Sunstreaker? Well, all I can say is that I continue to be blown away by this line. When the Convoy Optimus Prime came out, I was immediately hooked. I was just amazed at what they were able to do with such an old design and mould of a toy figure. Then when the Minibots came out, yeah, I was blown away. I mean, I'll put my hand up on this one. When they started the Missing Link line and they showed the previews of Optimus Prime and this lot, I remember saying to someone that I doubted that they would do things like the Minibots, and they did them. So I'm batting 2 for 2 now on things that I've predicted wouldn't happen, and they have. The first one being, I'm still under the bus with arrow fire over Fans Toys Fortress Maximus. You know, I'm still doing a lot of digging out of the hole on that one, but yeah. So yeah, I was at that point. I wasn't sure that they would do the Minibots, but they have, and they're great. Optimus Prime is great. Sunstreaker is amazing, and I absolutely adore him. It's great, and it's such a nostalgia hit, you know, because playing with these toys back in the day, the articulation that we're getting out of the Missing Link stuff now is the articulation that the old original figures had in our imaginations. You know, so as imaginations made up for the shortcomings of the limitations of the figures back then. Excuse me. So what's next from the Missing Link line? As I mentioned earlier on, I think in the brief intro, it looks like they've teased Ultra Magnus and Grimlock, but I don't know how legit that is. I hope they do those two, but I would also like to see them do more of the Autobot cars and then get onto the Decepticons. I personally, I think Soundwave is a prime. That is prime for a Missing Link version, basically because it wouldn't be that difficult to give him great articulation. The Seeker Jets, there are others that would do well, I think, with some creative thinking. I'd love to say Megatron. I don't know. But then again, if anyone's going to do it, Takara Tomy will do it. I think we will get one. It will just be a big question of will we get it over here, which I'm sure we will. Someone will import it. We'll be able to get it, but it would have to be in robot mode. But you know, yeah, I hope they do, but we'll wait and see. But back to Sunstreaker. I'm just going to repeat myself here. Love it. It looks great. It's a sleek, sexy import with turbo handling. Great colours. Nice paint application on the die-cast areas. Yeah, there is die-cast in it. It's actually heavier than the original G1 version. There's chrome work on it. There's rubber tyres. And yeah, that's it. It's a great figure. If you haven't got it and you're in the line for it, pick one up. You won't be disappointed. So there we go. Right. That was me. That was Missing Link Sunstreaker. That's the Vault Keeper. It's been rather quiet, but not to worry. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon when we take a look at what's new in the vault. Bye for now.
And now it's time for
the gallery. What's new?
In the vault,